Listen to Career Paths by Implement every Thursday.
You might learn something.
You might not.
Available on Apple Podcasts,
On Spreaker,
Spotify,
on Google,
and iHeartRadio. It's your life. Make it happen.
Usually
What's
what I
the
do.
even?
Huh?
Said what's the even? Even if you do it wrong?
You
Before I forget, we have to tell Rob,
Because you
actually,
do it wrong.
both of you guys, about our lunch, our breakfast the other day.
Yeah, that's
And the
it.
waitress, her comment, I ordered like the vegetable, veggie omelet. She goes, oh, I could tell you're the healthy one, da da da, complimenting me. And then he makes some comment.
Some smart ass
And
remark.
she just goes, well, I could tell who was paying the bill today.
Love it.
I'm like, yes.
She nailed me. Nailed me bad. And it's like, well, Roger's buying the lunch. I guess you're buying breakfast today, son of a
I'm like, that's worth it. Oh, yeah.
Where was this at?
Denny's on the hill right there. She was funny. She was great.
Then she was apologetic, and I'm like, no, not at all.
Don't say you're sorry.
Yeah, didn't hurt my feelings. Basically, I was crying on the inside. All right.
All right,
Stop.
I'm ready.
Are you sure? Yeah. See how easy it is? I will adjust. So, what did you go to school for officially? You went to school for accounting, or you went for what?
I went to school at Eastern, and
Okay.
I received a degree in business degree, emphasis in marketing. So once I kind of got into school, my whole
Things
object was just to get
through school.
through school in 4 years
Okay.
without
We're,
debt.
we're gonna touch on it. See, I know I just I don't know some of this stuff, so it's gonna be fun for me to find out.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's fake it. Oh, wait, one card's out of spot. Oh my God, the whole show's gonna. Oh, put it right there. Oh, right there. Okay, we're back. Okay, we're good. Are you ready? I'm ready.
Sure.
I'm waiting on you, pal. Been waiting all day. All right. Welcome to.
Wait.
You jackass. You son of a bitch.
Oh,
You need a
it
new-
keeps doing that.
Is it that piece, or do you
I think
need?
it's this one.
Because I think I have another one. Is it? No, it's. I don't know.
I don't even know.
All right, you screwed it up. All right. So we're gonna go. And go. Can I go? Should we go?
I don't hear anything.
So there I am.
Oh, wait for it.
Wait for it. Anything yet? Are you there yet? Are you naked yet?
Yeah, it's gonna be that one.
Okay.
Okay.
Welcome.
Sure, you can go now.
Son of a bitch. Welcome to Career Paths by Infonet. I'm your host, Victor Boudreau. Our guest today is Mr. Roger Pratt. Hi, Roger.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Hey, Roger. Give me a little bit of background on yourself, as in age, rank, serial number. Actually, like you're married,
I am married,
couple kids.
2 boys, beautiful wife Gail.
That's right, Gail. I met her once. She only let her around me that one time because I was hitting on her, I think. Oh, whatever.
Said never again.
Get him away from me. Anything else that we should know about you, like personal,
You asked how old I am? I'm 54.
54. Okay. Any grandchildren?
No.
Not yet. The
Not
boys are going to school, college, and stuff.
My oldest Mitchell is 3 years out of school now, full-time job over in the Seattle area. Nathan will be entering his senior year in college.
Wow.
This fall.
Crazy, huh? Crazy stuff.
Remember him run?
So, what you just retired from what? Doing what?
A year ago, I retired from a almost 31-year career as a financial manager for.
Financial manager. Okay, good. I see. And I should ask you that before.
That was my title, financial manager. In essence, it was more of a credit manager. for
See, that's what I thought, because you had to deal with customers and get money, and they weren't paying the bills, or they
Right.
were, or whatever, all that crap. I remember.
wholesale distributor. So a lot of it was dealing with secondary protection. We didn't handle residential stuff, but more commercial
Okay.
construction.
Yeah,
So-
the company that you worked for
Right.
that sold the product for commercial.
purposes.
Yeah.
So we would have secondary protection on lien rights,
Mhm.
bond rights if it's government job.
Okay. So, what were you doing, and where were you when you decided to become what was that again, title again?
Financial manager.
That's it, financial manager. How'd that happen?
Partly, well, I was working for the company before I became a financial manager
What-
in a different role, and
What was
more
that
of
role?
a customer service
Okay,
inside
right.
sales
Inside
type
Yeah.
role.
Been there,
and
done that one.
the position, that financial manager position opened up, and I applied for it. And
Did you have to do training for that, or it was just you stepped
no,
into
it's
it?
more training on the job.
Okay.
Definitely training on the job.
So,
The having the degree was a big piece of the ticket in.
okay, so you said you have a degree. We haven't gotten that far. So, where you out of high school, you decided to go to college,
Correct.
and what'd you do, and what'd you take, or what were you going to do? What was at that point?
Going into college, I
Yeah.
had no idea what I was going to
Okay.
do.
So what classes? What
And
were
you would take the common
right, your
core
basics,
get an idea, and start trying to weed a direction to go,
right?
and
Okay.
kind of found myself. I like dealing with numbers and things like that. So,
Okay.
and business seemed like
So
a
you
good
so
fit
you
for
ended up
me.
doing business.
I have a
Which-
business degree with emphasis in marketing.
Thank you. We talked about that right before the show started, so I just wanted to clarify, so we had that. So it was basically a process. You just kept going and figuring out what you're gonna do and how you're gonna do it. So out of, how many years college to begin with?
4 years college.
Okay. And then out of that, did you step into your outside sales, or that for that company at that time?
Yeah, so once I got on with the company I retired from,
Mm-hmm.
I was in a couple different sales positions, and mostly inside customer service type stuff.
Right.
And then, like I say, that position in the financial department opened up, and I
So
applied for that because that's more my personality.
okay.
Like I say, I like dealing with numbers, money, and the sales side of it that kind of turned me off is that always going out there trying to beg people to buy
Right.
something from you.
Right,
Where
right.
being on the credit side, it's the opposite.
You got to go.
They owe me, and
They
I'll be nice to them if they pay me.
Yeah.
So.
No hitmen or. So do you have no any? Never mind. So it's basically you kind of almost fell into it, even though you took classes, you did your college, you got a job at the company at one position, you did a couple other positions maybe within that, then you applied for an open position in the financial, and so what? Just doing the numbers thing, is that, and even at that you progressed in your job, didn't you, or Tyler, or was it?
Yeah,
You went
definitely
from-
within the department, I progressed through.
So you started out. What was the official title that you started out? Do you remember? That was a few years ago.
Long time ago.
Okay, so you
Some
did.
assistant to or something.
Okay.
Like that.
So did you take any extra training? You must have within the
Yeah.
company,
only,
or just,
only within the company.
right?
But it was nothing major.
Just hands on, or somebody go, hey, take this
Just
online
more
class. Or,
than anything, it's hands on.
okay.
It was
And
hands-on.
did you have a mentor along the way?
Definitely. Yeah.
Anybody that comes to mind that you'd like to mention? Or that?
Probably when you say mentor, the one person that comes to the top of the list for me is Ron Benjamin.
Okay. Does Ron? Do you still talk to Ron? Or
Oh no, unfortunately Ron passed away.
Okay. Does he know that he affected you that way? Do you think he did?
I certainly hope so. Yeah.
And a smile comes to Roger's face when he mentions this. So it must be. Obviously, he had a good rapport with Roland. So when you went to school, was there any financial issues? Any other problems you might have faced just getting into school, or when you were in school, since you didn't know what you were going for or what you ended up to be?
No, but I think that was kind of the whole process. Is okay. Whatever I'm going to do, I need to figure it out, and my goal is to get out in 4 years.
So that was at least that was your goal.
That
it wasn't
was my
even
goal.
to know what you're going to do per se for a job career. I just wanted to do the 4 years, at least have that under your belt, right?
I want to have this degree in my back pocket and do it in 4 years.
Wow.
That was.
What was the funnest thing about going to school?
The funnest thing?
Yeah, let me back
probably
up.
the relationships. Probably the time, meeting new, different people,
You want to say that about
relationships you build, and
what about your times in high school? Any regrets about? Oh, never mind. Let's skip that. Could you just edit that? I won't talk
the
about.
time I met Victor Boudreau. How about that?
It's been all downhill. When did you meet Gail, your wife?
I met her at Kramer, my company I worked for.
You'll have to edit that out, please.
The company I worked for is where I met my
Huh.
wife. Yes. So.
Dabbling on the company with the company pen, huh? Any obstacles while you're in college? Besides just going, anything comes to mind that you're going, man, that was.
Oh, just
normal.
life happening.
Were you working full time at the time? Doing something else? Or were you
No,
going to school
I worked a
full-time?
little part time, off and on.
Did you build a nice bill after school?
No, I was able to graduate without any debt.
Wow.
My parents did help me a little bit,
Nice. That's nice. They were able to do that.
partly. Yeah.
Good. So once again, worst part of school was going to school.
Yeah, probably the worst part. I don't know that I have any bad memories.
No, that's fine. That is
Other than just the life experiences at the time.
right.
You
right.
know,
You always go through something.
You're in your early 20s.
You're still learning.
Yeah, and life is big, both ups and downs.
Yeah, true, because you're still learning what's, as time goes on, you realize that's probably, for me, the bad days, they're not really that bad. The good days, they're good days. I've only had one real bad day in my life, and I've gone through a lot of different stuff, so those are all, I think we've talked about that, so. Would you recommend anybody to do that wants to get into the financial end of any of that to go to school? Do you think that would benefit them, or try to get on with a company or
Oh,
What would you
definitely. I would recommend school, college. It's having that degree was the ticket in for me to get to the next level.
right? You mentioned that. Why was it a ticket? How did I get you? Because you just had, but it wasn't even the same.
Well, the company I worked for, I mean, it's. I shouldn't say required, but if you don't have it, they're not gonna.
Okay.
There has to be nobody else to choose from.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
or
okay.
everybody else
So that
on the
gives you a
list
little-
doesn't have a
It
degree
gives you
either.
like a
It's-
leg up, or at least give you something.
when you've got a dozen resumes in front of you, how do you eliminate 6 of them? Well,
Mhm.
do they have a degree? No. Okay, that's my done list.
Okay.
Let me look at the guys or the people that do.
There you go. So, how long did you do that job?
The financial job.
Yeah, the
I
financial
did
job.
various levels and
Right.
and I did for 30 years before I retired.
So, once again, you're going after, you're covering the debt or make sure that payments are paid for the funds, and
Right.
so, and in different ways throughout that time.
Well, and it's more than that because there's that customer rapport where
So,
you have these customers that continually come back.
okay,
and
so
buy from you
so
more.
so that's part of your
So-
job is dealing with a lot of the same couplers over and over,
customer relationship.
Right.
Yes,
And it's
yes.
not always bad, but you just.
Well,
or-
and it's varying types of customer too, from the mom and pop
Okay.
to, Fortune 500 company. So
Well, how
to
was
a
it-
government entity. I mean, they all handle differently, and you need to have, for the mom and pop type customer, you need to have that warm,
yeah,
open relationship where you can have a conversation and talk about how the kids are doing.
And then you have to go after, you owe us money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to ask about that too.
Was that hard for you?
No, I don't think it was, because it's part of the job, and
So business and personal?
Yeah.
You know how to break
Yeah.
between the two? Okay. Anything?
I mean, it's something that comes through.
But,
You learn
right,
as you
and
go.
as you build a rapport with them,
And-
they know that one reason you're going to be there, but on top of it, you can build a relationship. So it's not just all negative if it has, they're going through a rough time.
Right.
Are you given tools through were you given tools through your company to help the customer because of what they were going through? If it's more, not some government. Does that make sense, the question I'm asking?
It does, and it's a there's no same answer for the question, because early on in my career, I was expected to follow the line
Okay, right.
closer,
Okay.
by my supervisor.
Was it because you were new, or because the guidelines for the company at the time, or what?
Twofold. I mean, it depends on who your boss is and their personality. It also depends on where you are in your career.
Okay.
Towards the end of my career, I was given a lot more leeway
Why?
because of the experience I had, and
You'd already built your reputation?
well, yeah, because I mean, over 30 years, you're going to run into instances where customers go bankrupt.
Right.
And
right.
how do you handle that? How do you deal with collecting even when the customer's upside down? And if you've done that through your career enough times to show, hey, I know what's going on here, I see the signs, and I'm
Right.
going to move up on this customer and
Right.
clamp down on them before we get to that point.
Right.
Your boss has more
faith.
comfort in
Faith in you.
what you're doing.
Right. What about your career that you disliked? Anything is one-
I would say it was mostly the stress and trying to get things done and collecting the money when your boss has expectations of you, and sometimes it doesn't happen overnight. And
Right.
sometimes there's the push to we need more money in this month.
Right.
Where are we going to get it?
How do we do it? What got you excited about going to work every day? I don't think there was anything that makes.
I would have to say it was the relationships that you built, not only with customers, but with your people that you work with.
That seems to be a common thread that we're hearing throughout, that it's people that you deal with on a regular basis, whether it be a customer, a client, somebody that's in healthcare that's dealing with a patient is usually.
Especially when, I think when you see that you make a difference for somebody and they recognize that and thank you for it, it means a lot.
I'm sure it would. You had time in the office and time in the field, because I know you, because the way you and I we knew each other in school, high school. We were a little more than acquaintances, not much more. And I forgot that I
We
drove
lived
by
in the same house for a while.
I drove by that street today, not the house, but I went, son of a bitch, that's right, Roger and I lived in the same house for a while. But and then we lost connection. We were doing, and then we ran into each other. I saw you on a plane, and traveling. I can't remember if it was from or to Seattle.
We were both going to Seattle from Spokane.
There you go. And I said hi.
And I was unfortunate enough to get the seat across the aisle from you. And I couldn't hear a word other than Vicks the whole way.
Thank you. Why, thank you.
We still love you, Victor.
I've been pissing people off lately on the social media anyway, so I'm pretty happy about that. What? So obviously you're in the office, which I came and saw you at the office over the years that we'd get together to go do lunch. But you'd fly out. You have to go like to Alaska, Boise. Where else do you fly out?
Boise, Alaska.
To collect money or to harass
Well,
clients?
the company I worked for had different branches all across the country, but mostly in Northwest is where I traveled.
Okay.
So
That's out.
Alaska.
Did you? Was that? So that's out for me. That would be out in the field. What did you like better in the office or out in the field? It sounded like
early
it
on
flipped. Yeah, that's
early on in my career, I did like to travel
right.
and get
That's what
out,
it sounded
and
like.
then
As time moved on.
as time moves on and start raising a family and you've done the travel thing before, it
Over and over.
starts to get old.
How often did
Yeah.
you travel typically?
I was traveling. It varied throughout my career.
Sure.
Sometimes it was once a month, and towards the end it was once every other month or once a quarter.
And how long were you out?
I was usually
Away
gone
from home.
for majority of the week.
Right. That'd be a long time when you're trying to. So was that wife and kids happy to see you when you came home, or were they not happy? That's a
Well, they were happy to see me.
Dad's home. He's bringing
Wouldn't
money. Well, you're still married. How long have you been married?
We've been married 25 years.
Jeez Louise, Gail. Good
Soon
for
to be
you.
26.
Wow. Jeez Louise. What would you say would be the biggest misconception from the general public or people, customer clients that you've dealt with about your job and career? What do you think would be the biggest misconception?
That big companies have deep pockets.
You saying they don't?
I'm saying they work on the same premise of small companies. It's money in, money out, and it's all about cash flow.
Wow, there you go. Would you say you did all right financially for a living, money-wise? Did you pay your bills?
Definitely, yeah.
So,
I'm very comfortable with where we're.
and you're
where we
retired. You still work part-time, right?
Yeah, just enough to
Just get you out of
a
the
little
house.
something to do.
Yeah, because if not, you'd drive.
I don't do it for the income
Nice.
per se.
There you go. And you after how many years did you just said something? You were 31 years. You worked. You retired from the company.
Just under 31 years
Wow.
retired from the company.
So, what would you say is the most enjoyable thing about your life because of your career?
Retirement.
And you're alive to enjoy it?
Why would you enjoy it? Yes.
Wow. What advice would you give to anybody that might want to get into the financial end of what anybody that's looking to go, hey, I like numbers. What would you recommend for them, or what advice would you give them?
Looking to get into the credit field?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
You're welcome.
I'm
See, I'm making you think here, Raj.
I am having a hard time thinking of a response to that question.
Have you ever had somebody come to you for advice because they want to do what you do?
I've had employees underneath me,
Okay.
search for, but more along the lines of how to handle a situation.
Sure.
Or-
You're being the mentor at that point.
Right. Or how to handle dealing with a boss or someone above them,
Mhm.
things like that.
Right.
And
So
it's
you were the old
interesting
jaded
how,
guy.
well, even in the credit end of things, dealing with people is really what it's all about, and how you
Deal with them.
approach people and yeah.
Mhm. Treat them.
and treat them, and
Don't treat them like
Yeah.
dirt typically, and like they're
Right.
scum, or even if they're having financial issues, because they usually are not scum. But almost everybody has financial issues, one way or the other, somehow within their life. Being
Right.
young, you typically is, hopefully you live and learn. But
well, the other thing is generally people stay in the business even if they go bankrupt. they still are in that business somewhere, somehow.
Mm.
And, you know, you can treat them as a human being with respect, and, you know, they're not going to hate you in the end.
Right. Well, if you treat
I
them
mean, if you,
decent, right.
Ultimately, that was one thing I tried to do is treat them with respect, even if
Right. No, right.
they didn't pay their bills.
Right.
Is, hey, that's business,
Right.
personal. Try to keep the two separate.
Right. So, one more question for you, Roger. Any other career you would like to, or you dreamt when you were in high school or grade school, or when you were younger before you became in the financial end and the number thing? Anything else another career you would want to attempt or dreamt of becoming?
I like I said, I didn't have anything specific in mind when I went to school.
Mhm.
So, you know, I love the outdoors. Something in the outdoors would have been cool, but you know, looking back, I'm glad I took the route I did. I was very blessed to be able to.
So you never want to be a
Yeah,
rock
career.
star or an actor or
Definitely not.
model, GQ model?
Not.
See, that's what I would have pictured you at. You're welcome.
Well, I understand why.
Well, anybody that sees pictures of you, or when we
Yeah.
finally do the unedited, they'll see why I'm talking good-looking man. You're welcome.
Oh.
Oh my.